now you can read me the goddamn riot act. What were you trying to say before about bringing it into the house? What was that now?
No, just you didn't really listen to BTS.
No.
Not really.
Mm-mm.
Passing on the radio.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like it all began when I heard Jungkook's singles
Right.
off of his album, and I didn't realize he was a part of BTS. And it wasn't until I saw 3D and fell in love with his dance moves, and I was like, "Ooh, dance it for me, honey." That
Dance for me. Dance for
dance
me,
for me.
sweetie.
That I
Be
started to get
seductive.
exactly that I started to get involved in his album, and then his album made me realize he was a part of the group, and then it made me
Right.
think, what do the others have out there? And it made me look at the other members and their albums, and
Right.
then we started to pick our favorites, and then overall, I started to get hyped when they announced the Netflix special and their new album, and I was like, I was like, well, their last album was good. And then it made me realize how many albums do they actually have out? And it turns out this was their ninth album. And I was like, where the hell have I been the other eight albums? Um, so I had to go back to the original and I had to listen to
You
it
you went
thoroughly.
down the
And
rabbit hole.
I went down the rabbit
Down
hole.
deep into the
And I
rabbit
got a
hole.
good vibe of where they were headed, where they went to, and where they went
Oh my
back to.
god. Yeah, you went
Okay,
the
so
full circle. The
full
whole
circle.
360 of it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, for those of you who live under a rock, we're talking about BTS. We're talking about South Korea's greatest sensation, greatest contribution to the world of music. We're talking about BTS. Is it RM or REM? It's RM? Is that what the
RM. That's the
RM?
signal. RM. Yeah.
RM, Jin, Suga, J Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. The boys from BTS. I'm sorry, the men from BTS. And I think
The
that's one
men
of the
now.
problems.
The men
Yeah,
now.
I think
They
that's
didn't
one of
start
the.
that way.
I think I'm going to be honest with you. Like I told you this story the other day, and I'll bring it up here again. Many, many moons ago, many several years ago, around the time that we first moved into the House of O, which was about 2018, I was walking around a nearby park, and we live in a very Asian neighborhood. And so I'm walking down one of the parks, and there happens to be near a road that also goes by a highway. So it's like big open for a city, it's big open parking area. So there's usually tend to be big vehicles there, truck, buses, whatever the case, parked on that side. And there happened to be a bus that had pictures of the members of BTS on it. It said BTS on the bus. I'm not sure if it was a tour bus because it didn't look like your average transit bus or commuter bus. It was almost like somebody was visiting. So I went on my phone. I was like, I've heard of this on the radio. Are they nearby? Like, are they in town? I looked it up. They were working Madison Square Garden that weekend that I saw the bus. So I was like, oh, big time artist, right? Madison Square Garden. I didn't know much about BTS at the time. I said they must be big time. So I start going to the YouTube. I start listening to some songs, and the only songs that were coming up at the time that I had looked them up was a
Was
lot of the
Dynamite
more.
and
Well, I
Butter.
hadn't. I don't even think I heard Dynamite and Butter yet. I think when I went to YouTube and typed in BTS, it was giving me more of the older stuff. So it was
Oh,
like heavier on the Korean rap, and the beats were cool, but I was like, Korean rap, I'm good. So I just swiped it off right there. I never thought about it again. Dynamite is probably Dynamite and Butter. Obviously, it the equivalent of me saying that I first really took notice of them through Dynamite and Butter would be like, oh yeah, I'm a WWE fan. I like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. It's just like, I mean, there's more to it than just Stone Cold and The Rock, but all right, cool, all right, cool, whatever, 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 whatever. So yeah, I had heard those singles, still didn't dive deep into it. I like the songs, but not enough to really whatever, whatever. When you went down this rabbit hole,
I
you
did.
you took me with you.
I well, the rabbit hole started with 3D, And it just started with me playing it every single day in the car.
Oh, Dave's not here to remind
Then
me. My bad. I was supposed to put the banner up.
and then it led into J Hope's song Sweet Dreams, and then that had
Yeah.
uh,
Sweet dreams of
moment
you.
like that had a piece of my heart at the time. And then it just became, it was just a snowball effect. And then I started
Ah,
liking one song from each of them. But while trying to prepare for this show, I found something out that was interesting I didn't know before.
okay.
So when I first started trying to look at their earlier albums, they're all babies at first, and I'm like, ooh, well,
Very
how
young.
how old were they? So they all ranged. And I knew that Jungkook was younger at 13. And then I knew that the oldest one at the time was 18, you know? Um, and that's not RM. The oldest one is Jin. And
Okay.
uh, and he's 5 years older than the youngest one. But they trained for years before the actual first album came out. So while Jungkook was 13, and then the first album didn't come out till he was almost 18. So that's like 5 years of training, okay, just to be a part of this group. And then I found out that not all the people who were training for it actually made it to the group. But what really surprised me was that because me and you was having a conversation about boy bands here in the US and boy bands in Japan, and the fact that they
Japan or
chose,
Korea?
I'm sorry, Korea, and they chose RM as the leader.
Right.
And I was like, well, they don't really do that here, but
Mm-mm.
they chose him as the leader. And I was like, why would they choose him as the leader when he's not the oldest?
Ah,
And I was like, I would think that the oldest member in the group would be the leader for everybody to look up to him, as the oldest and will follow his lead.
right.
But really, it is RM who's 2 years younger than the oldest. And I just found out that the reason he's the leader was because he was supposed to be um, not a solo act, but they created the band around him, which I
Hmm.
didn't know that. So he was chosen to be the leader because he was recruited first for the band, and they
He was
wanted
Beyonce.
everything.
They were Destiny's Child.
Yes, so they were all like RM was serving the foundation of the group. They wanted everything to be built around RM, and RM's style is primarily rap. He's a rapper in the group. So
Mhm.
everything had to revolve around him. So then they got two more rappers, and then they got some vocals, and then they got some dancers in the group. But everything was supposed to surround RM, which I didn't know. And then what kind of broke the barrier too is that now that you have RM as the focal point, even though he's not the
Right.
oldest does have a role in the group. Like I was just joking around in the car, but he's like more like the mama bear. Why you have like RM as like the serious one, like the one that doesn't joke around, where he's like, stop pranking, stop joking around, stop making jokes, let's concentrate. You
Yeah.
know,
He's the adult in the room.
he's
Where
the
it's just
adult
like,
in the room,
yeah.
and Jin's more like, "Are you cold? Do you need a blanket?
It's
Are you
Mama Birding, like you
stressed?
said earlier.
Do you
You
need
said
a
that earlier.
tissue? I just heard you sneeze." Like he constantly makes jokes about how he raised Jungkook
Oh,
and how he
is he the
raised,
is he the
you
big
know,
guy from Mulan? He's like, drink some tea.
oh my god. No, but he's he's like the mama bear.
Right.
And
Okay.
I thought it was cool too that RM became the focal point too, because they always say how smart he is, and he has an IQ of 148, and he's the one that really learned English. And he has a proven track record of being very loyal. At one point when they decided maybe this might not actually turn out well, like maybe the first album might not turn out well, they actually
Right.
offered him his own solo album. They were like, maybe we should scrap this and you just have your own solo deal. And he was like, no, I want to do this with BTS. So that's kudos for him. Because without him saying yes to this whole BTS, we don't have 9 albums of BTS.
No, we do
You know
not.
what I mean? So
Which
I
is
mean,
which is funny that you're mentioning the 9 albums because I have it here. They actually made their concert debut as a group in 2013, and
mm-hmm.
it's been they've been so they technically on paper have been together for the last 13 years. They've doubled that. They've been together for about 13 years. And another conversation that we had that and this is why we should, like you said, we should always be mic'd in the car. But one of the conversations that we had, and my interest in the group, although the music to me is phenomenal, I love the music. I have so much respect for them as a group. First and foremost, there's 7. When I was growing up, I saw boy bands of 3, possibly 4, and then
And
the
5.
5
Yeah.
being the max, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen 7. And I said, how the hell does 7 work? Because I've seen behind the scenes documentaries and stuff like that for the other groups, and there would always be a cat fight. I'm trying to figure out who's going to do what's going to happen here. Like you said before, why is there no leader? Because fuck you. That's why. I'm not going to, as soon as, even if I like the guy, as an American, you're not telling me what to do. Fuck you. Right? So there is no fucking way that's going to happen. So 7, I said, no fucking way. And one of the reasons I decided to talk about this on the show is not just because of the comeback, but I got really interested when you were watching the documentary because it gave me a really cool insight as to how it actually does work as far as writing the music, deciding how the music is going to be made, what's going to be released, what's going to be on the album, what's the sound going to be like.
But do you
And
realize that in watching the documentary too, do you know the 4 that were really going at it back and forth with the 4 oldest ones?
right, because
Okay.
I like the fact that first and foremost, everybody had the platform to say what they felt. And then when it came to decision time, that's when the elder
Whole group got
statesmen
together.
stepped
Yeah.
in and just said, okay, we need to come together. What are we doing? What's the answer on this? Even to the point where,
But in the totem pole, but you saw the totem pole, the order in which it went in, right?
right. I
It
I
goes,
don't know
it
the
goes,
faces, but
it
yeah, I
goes
saw,
it
yeah.
goes RM, right? It was RM making decisions. Then it was Suga, who I love his personality. He's like, don't fuck with me type of attitude. He don't give
Yeah.
2 shits. He don't want anybody hugging him, touching him, goofing around him. He's serious at all times. And then you have J Hope, who has a big opinion in there. You know what I mean? And you know, if in many interviews for the rest of them, they were always like, "Oh, he was our dance teacher. You know, he was the strict one. He made sure that we were on beat." And you can see that in their concerts. It always on beat. They could play a concert from 2013 and 2023, and you can put them in sync with each other, and they're on every single beat. And then after that, like, but the second right after RM is Jin, but yet he didn't really have a voice in this album because he was doing his solo concert and he came back right at last minute and he didn't really have that much of a say. So you see him in the documentary like, why am I even here? Like, I didn't get to put in as much as I did on the other albums. And you can see it on his face that it's tearing him apart, that he was a bigger part of this process as before. So you can kind of see how it was based on the top 3, you know, and the top 3 are all rappers.
Yeah.
So remember, this was all centered around rap to begin with. That's why a lot of people's like, how come there's so much rapping? Because that's what they originally were, like a rap group with some singing in it.
Some elements of song, and there were like 7 Drakes all put together. It's like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. They actually do one of my favorite, because a lot of people don't know this about me, but back in the day, huge. I mean, I like music now, but like huge into music. I almost damn near studied it. Like I was obsessed with how it's made, who's making it, the whole shebang. And one of my favorite aspects of the boy band era was that they tried to do a little bit of everything, despite some members not being as good as others in those areas. BTS, from what I've seen so far, and I'm not claiming to be an expert, I'm just getting on the train myself, but they are 7 people who all have their strengths and weaknesses, and they exemplify those strengths and try not to show as much of the weakness. It's like, okay, this guy can sing his ass off, but he's not much of a rapper. Great, but it's not your turn. Off to the side. Yeah, this guy's a stronger dancer than the other one is. Great. J Hope, you're at the front. V, get in the back. It's like whatever the case may be. So it's
Well,
like
V will never be in the back.
I'm just naming examples in terms of how they organize it. And
But but
another,
but when it's their turn to come up and do their thing,
yeah,
they have the focal point. They're up front, all eyes on them, and then
hmm
everybody's supporting them while it's their turn in the song. It's really
yep.
no lead singers. They all have a moment to shine in the song.
And
They
I think
never
that's on
just
purpose. They
they
don't
never
they
have it like just like for example like in sync where it was just Justin and it was just uh
and JC.
and JC. You know, it wasn't just two people singing
That
all the
was what they
choruses and
had.
everything like that and all the verses. They all each have a moment to shine. Even the rappers sometimes sing some parts as well. You know,
hmm
so I mean, the rappers are singers as well. And
Yeah.
I respect that.
They are a super group. BTS has been around, like I said, since 2013. They have had chart topping songs. They're known literally in the music industry as a super group. They've won Grammy Awards, 18.4 million viewers on the Netflix night stream that just happened on the comeback, which means they left the industry, came back, and were hotter when they came back. And just for a split second, let's talk about the hiatus for just a second, because that's another aspect of this story that I just absolutely fucking love. I'm not fangirly here, but I have like the more stories I
Respect.
hear about the guys, the more I respect them, because they could have in Korea. They all have mandated service with the military. It's not like here where you can elect a president who dodges drafts. This is a country that is proud of the fact that they get to serve their country, and being multi-million-dollar performers and just worldwide celebrities did not stop these gentlemen from following through with their responsibilities. That not only took time away from their music careers to do it, they did it happily, they did it willingly, and they did it well, because I have it here in front of me. They all served. Let me pull this back up again. I shortened it. All seven members completed service between the years of 2022 and 2025. Not at the same time, obviously, it's staggered. But, like, for instance, Jin started December of 2022. He was discharged in 2024. Hope, J Hope, RMV, Jimin, and Jungkook all completed services by June of 2025. Suga also completed mandatory service just before the 2026 reunion, and Suga was one of the members of the group that was actually injured in service and was relegated to clerical work, and still finished his mandated service, even down to literally counting the minutes down to the release. So he was still working with the military, said goodbye, and walked on stage with BTS after that. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for people who just they didn't bullshit with that. They're like, I'm $1 million. I'm $1 million property. I'm not supposed to be getting, I'm not supposed to be in the trenches. I'm not supposed to be mopping floors or sweeping this and wiping that. Nope. They said, okay, we go. And they went and they fucking
And
did it.
and for all the fans out there, they got jacked during that time.
Yeah.
Okay, they came back and they were doubled their size, and
Who
then
was it in the
eventually they had
documentary?
to
Somebody was
lose
making
some of
fun of
that
them.
muscle mass because it was too much. It was too much.
They were in
Okay.
shape, brother.
Oh my god,
They
it was
were
too much.
kadoosh. You know what
Yes,
I'm
they
saying?
were.
And you know why I told you this in the car, I'll say it here. You know why they probably got that big and probably got that athletic? Because when they first went into the service, I promise you, it might be Korea, but it's still the military. They were probably all in line and they were, that's you. Yeah, come on, hit me with that butter. Come on, dance with me, Jay. Come on. So they're probably getting teased, probably getting fucked with, and they said, watch this. Boom, boom, boom. They picked up things and then they put them down, son. That's it. And they came out, look at this. Let's get back on stage, brothers. Huh? What do you guys want for the new show? Creatine, brother. Hand me the protein. Let's go. Get rid
Oh
of
my
that butter. I want low sodium margarine now. Let's go. We're watching our figures. No, they're listen. What are the things about this group, and we can go. Listen. We can do this all day. The albums that they've released have all been multi-time successful. Not only as a group have they been successful, but like you said, one of the things that looped you into this run was the individual albums, which is another credit that I give them because there's no ego in this group. Any
No.
group that would have been this successful by 2022 and then just decided to break it off because of their mandatory service, just about all of them released individual albums or songs or projects that
Mm-hmm.
all did well. And I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, if that would have been an American group, there would have been no comeback. There would have been no comeback. When that last NSYNC album was dropped, Celebrity, and I found out Justin wrote like 3 of those songs, I'm like, uh-oh. That's not good. And it was never good. As soon as Gone hit, and as soon as Girlfriend hit, and as soon as I went to the show with my mom and my family, and we saw the last tour that they did, and Justin was not only front and center, but dominated most of that show, I said, oh, fuck, this is bad. And then Justin did that one MTV special for to promote the album that he was doing on his own, and we never saw those fuckers again. And I'm telling you, in an American group, if they would have reached that level of success as a group, left, and all 7 attained some form of success without the group, they would have never came back. But these guys genuinely do
Mm-hmm.
love each other. They love being around each other.
They do. They
Genuinely.
consider each other family. But what makes their individual albums so good is that you see what they bring to the BTS album because they each have their own distinct style. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all over the map, their styles. Like RM is more of um like real like mellow in your feelings, like an Erica Badu, like on and on
Soul,
it
more
seems to
soul.
go. Yeah, more like soulful, um, more like self-reflection pieces, more about like the world and the sky and the moon and my feelings and all that. But
He said, "Oh,
um,
I'm sad
yeah,
over
yeah,
you."
it's some people would call it like rainy day music. It's like that kind of like
Oh
almost
man,
I'm not gonna say hippie
that
vibe,
works.
but it's and the album's called Indigo. I'm just saying that gives off some sort of like indie like
Yeah,
music, you know.
you light one of those old school what are those sticks called? Not essence, incense. You light the
Yeah,
incense in the house. You just
incense, you
kind of
play his music and you just
chill.
chill
You
out
just
and mellow, which I wouldn't have expected it from him, who's the rapper of the group, right?
yeah,
Now he's
exactly.
not my favorite rapper of the group. You know what I mean? Like I like J Hope. Um
J Hope.
but I like his album. So he came out with two. He has Jack in the Box, which we were listening to, and as soon as we heard the instrumentals, as soon as we heard the intros to the songs before he even started rapping, we were like, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. Oh, he started just taking pieces from some old
He did a
school
lot of sampling. Yeah, he did a
a
lot of
lot of
sampling.
sampling, and he was very hard lyrics, right? In your face
Yeah.
lyrics. And I like that. So he did and then he did his English stuff. Then he did You're Killing Me Girl, and he did his and those were mini tracks. It was only like 6 songs on an album. So he did Jack in the Box, which is like a full like 12, and then he did like another side piece of like 6 for us fans in the US. But I like J Hope's pieces in the song. And then Suga came out with, he's the third rapper, and his are all like mixtapes. You know what I mean? And his is more like um more hardcore, more aggressive lyrics, more in your face. It's more like Eminem sounding. He sounds like Eminem when he raps,
Aggressive rap.
more aggressive. And his is more like raw hip hop, like in your face, like talking about all sorts of shit, which I didn't even know his songs were about because again, they're in Korean,
Yeah,
and
little
because
bit of a
he don't,
language
he
barrier.
don't give a shit. He's not gonna speak English for anybody. The one line that got me one day in an interview was someone is like, "Do you speak English?" And instead of saying yes, I can, or yes, a little bit. In Korean, he said, I could a little bit, but in Korean. He didn't even
Yeah.
still want to speak English. He's like, I could,
He
but I
won't
don't want to.
soil. He won't
He's like,
soil his tongue.
no, he's not. He's going to stay loyal to his first language. Um,
As
but
he should.
apparently it talks about a lot of mental health shit and societal pressures and just, you know, some raw shit like trauma shit. Who knew? That this is gonna come from him. He's so baby
That's
like.
you know how you know why nobody knew because he locked it down. So,
He
'cause
locked it down.
he's a
Yeah.
man.
He
That's
hides his
why.
feelings. He don't show everybody his feelings.
No, he's a
He's
true
very in
man.
here.
He
He
takes
locks
his
it in. He's a
pain.
true man.
He,
He's a true Korean.
a true man. He locks his pain in deep down inside until
Deep down
eventually it
inside.
bubbles over into a really aggressive outburst. That's what all men do.
N-
He's a real man's man.
Now our favorites from the group are
Uh huh. Go ahead.
Jungkook. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of our favorites. I love 3D. I love
Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
To me,
Okay,
Jungkook is the Justin Timberlake of this group,
he
and,
is, and
and
they
to the
compare
point
him to
where
Justin all the time.
I actually like, and we've had this conversation, but I feel like now that he's had a chance to dabble on his own and we can see what he can do, I feel like the group's kind of holds him back a little bit because
Well,
he's not
they all
able to
call
go
him his
full
golden child.
Jungkook.
But look, they all call him their golden child, and that's why he named his, I think, album
Album,
Golden, because they all
yeah.
treat him like the baby. They all cater
Well,
to him, and he just wanted to do a Western style. He's the one that really wants to learn English and
he
just wants
embraced the English. Yeah,
he
he went the
embraced
other
it.
way.
He went completely the other way. He just went fully Western style, and everybody knows Jungkook now. And then the other one that I like that me and you both like is Jimin, and Jimin is more like the he's more
He's a higher voice. He's more of a soprano. He's more of a
yeah,
what was it you read earlier? Synth pop, old school.
pop, electro pop, 80s 90s vibe,
You and
like
I are
dance
you and I
club.
are huge 80s freestyle fans, and it
Yeah,
feels
and this
like
gave
that
us the
90s house,
freestyle
80s
vibe.
freestyle vibe.
Yes,
And
the
we
whole album.
absolutely love his style. I
Yeah,
say it all the time. Jungkook has more songs that I like, but Jimin has my favorite song, Who. That
yeah,
song
yeah,
is crazy. I
yeah.
absolutely love that goddamn song.
And then Jin is more like your California beach type of like poppy sounds, that you hear in Cali. He's more like happy, bubbly, joyful. Let's talk about love. You know, e- Emotional storytelling about a guy and a girl getting together, meeting by the beach, having dinner, or like I love you, but you didn't return my love, or unrequited love, or you broke my
Unrequited love.
heart.
You
He's
bitch.
that type. But remember, he's Mama Bear. He's very emotional. This one,
Yeah.
um,
He's very
but
in tune with his emotions, this
he
guy.
is, and his voice is not bad either. And the one that I think out of all of them, the one that I think is lowest on the totem pole, um,
Uh-oh.
and I feel bad for him because he's the one that's the most attention seeking. Whenever they do interviews, he wants all the attention on him. Yet I think his album was the weakest. Is V.
Uh-oh.
He's a cutie.
Oh.
He's a cutie. Don't get me wrong. He's very cute for a Korean guy. Very cute. But he had the jazz feel. He had like the lofi sounds, very jazzy, very lullaby-ish, very like slow tempoed songs. One of his songs was even about Christmas, like that deep Christmas like song, and I wasn't
Christmas.
feeling the jazzy feel. That was not my type of music. So
I still respect the idea of
I like
when.
Friends though. Friends was his one good song. Everybody listen to
Oh, that's
Friends
the one.
and listen
Is
to the
that the
song.
one where the video starts off with him watching everybody else real close, and then the
Love,
second half of
he's in
him with the
love, and
girl,
then
and then
he's the one in love, and everybody else is bickering with each other. Yeah, that's the only good song he has, guys. Is Friends. So yeah,
wow, that's the only good one. I'm
only
telling
good
you,
one.
there's a lot of people that are whatchamacallit, that are probably going to hear this that are either have no idea about what this band actually does, or overly so. I don't think there's going to be any gray area when people
But you know
start
what's
watching this
interesting
particular
too
clip.
is that the earlier albums were in Korean, but some of them were in Japanese. So they were still hitting the other markets by having it translated and singing in Japan. I mean, sorry, in Japanese. And then they transferred over to English. So for everybody hating, saying why are mostly their songs in English, they also did songs in Japanese. And then most of the earlier work are in Korean. So like they're catering to a lot of people. So
They're serving a lot of masters here.
they are, and they've had a lot of success. But out of all of them, Jungkook and Jimin are the ones that are the most successful with their solo albums. But yet
I
they haven't written as many songs. Jungkook only has 24 to his name, but RM has like 200 and something. That's because everybody who features him, he always writes his own rap lyrics, so he gets writing credit. And then he
good,
always writes
smart,
his rap lyrics in BTS's songs, so he has writing credits on those songs.
smart guy, smart. I tell you, hey,
So,
listen, points are points. He'll take them all. This is without a doubt one of the most famous musical acts in the world today. There was a stat you threw at me earlier
mm-hmm.
about them joining a very elite group.
Ah,
Do you
yes,
still
it
have
was.
that,
It
or
was just yeah, it was just posted that they joined. Um, uh, they it says BTS has officially joined the ranks of music royalty, becoming one of only 3 groups in history to secure at least 7 number 1 singles and 7 number 1 albums in the United States. So of their 9,
yeah,
7, okay,
in the
uh,
U.S., not
in
in
the
their home
U.S.
country of Korea?
Exactly. And the ranks
Yeah.
that they joined were the Beatles and the Rolling Stone.
The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and BTS. That is you. It's not going to help the argument, but it has that same vibe as when they go Wilt, Bam, Kobe. That's it. That's the 3, and that's it. But yeah, no, they join a very elite group, folks. If you're not listening to the music, that's fine, but you absolutely have to respect
Good.
this group. This
You
group
do.
is they're such cool dudes, and now they've got the
And
new
they're so
album.
cute too.
Well, I can't speak to that, but
They're
you
adorable.
they just released the new album on March 20th. I'm gonna try some Korean. They named the album Arirang, something like
Sure.
that. Something sure. I guess that's it. Let's go with that. Uh, this was because I'm
I only
just
know
now
one
jump.
word in Korean. So,
What's that?
감사합니다.
Kamsamida. I
Everything is
didn't get a
perfect.
chance to experience the other albums before, but we were already listening to the music before this album was released, so we got to take the ride with this album. And I'm glad I watched the doc because the vibe that they wanted for this album, in my opinion, they nailed it because they did
Mm,
sound very youthful in the other albums, and they had a lot of energy. And you could look at Butter and Dynamite and go, "Oh, that's a little bubblegummy. That's a little poppy, a little." This album does sound. They were going, from what I understood, a much more mature sound and lyrically much more mature, and I feel it from this album. I swim, fire, 2.0, body to body, normal. I'm
I don't
hooligan.
think it
I'm
gave me a
feeling it.
mature vibe. I think they missed the vibe they had before they went into the military and wanted to go back to what they had together. I think they missed it. I think a part of them missed each other so
They wanted
much
to do it
they
their
wanted to
way.
go back and do what they have been known to do before Dynamite and Butter. I think Dynamite and Butter and the success they had with that threw them off a little bit. It didn't feel like them, so they just wanted to feel more like themselves. And after all their solo careers, they wanted to come back and be like, can we do this together again? I think it was also a
One
test for
more
them.
time.
Yeah, I think it was also a test. Like, can we do it? you know?
Like,
And now they
if
have
are we still
to,
capable?
yeah, are we still capable? You know, are we what people say we are, and really worldwide phenomenon at this point? And can we do it? Can we push
If
ourselves? Can we sell out stadiums in the U.S.? Because they haven't done that before. Can they
they
do it?
haven't done it before, but can confirm they can, because those fucking
Let's
tickets
see.
were gone the day they were released.
There are a lot of seats left, but they're fucking
No,
expensive.
they're all resale.
700 and something dollars.
Yep.
Oh my fucking god.
And here's the hilarious part: they sold out a worldwide stadium, not arena, stadium tour, and then for the sake of those who couldn't make it to the show for whatever reason, we're gonna put it in the movie theater for you guys. We're gonna put it in the movie theater so you guys can
They
still at
decided
least
to Miley
experience
Cyrus
the
it.
show. Yeah, we're gonna put it in there so at least you guys have a chance to still experience it, even if it's not in the building. You'll still get the live vibe. You'll get a big screen. Sold out. That's sold out,
And it's 3 hours.
and
So
it's 3 hours.
the taste we got on the Netflix special was only an hour.
Yeah,
The actual show for the
it's
concert,
3 hours,
3 hours.
and it's being
Okay.
advertised no trailers. Three
And
hours,
yeah, no
just
trailers. And not
straight.
only that, but in the Netflix special, they released all their songs and then they did like 2 extra ones. So I was hoping that they would do their individual stuff, like their most popular songs that got over,
Mm-hmm.
and weave it in between the BTS stuff to really show that they can respect each other as solo artists and be BTS. Like I want all of it. Like I want to hear Fire, and then I want to hear some Killing It Girl right after. You know, like I want to see how the rest of them dance to other people's music and songs and see if they can keep up and
Which
see
is
what it would look like.
another aspect of respect that I have, because right before that Netflix special, RM hurt his ankle and sat for most of the show on a stool. He still performed because, again, he's a man, and I'm going out there. And yet, when they did the dances, they did them so in sync with one another that the space that RM was supposed to be in was still open. Like they're still in the right spot, missing a person from the formation. They still knew exactly what they were supposed to do and where exactly they were supposed to be, to the point where they were able to freestyle for RM's parts, because they usually, when they switch back and forth between who's rapping, who's singing, they tend to blur on stage and support one another. So whenever somebody's parts on, you'll see somebody behind them like doing stuff behind, like trying to like just keep constant movement. RM's on a stool, and they still all manage to
They
shift
still
over and
surround
still
him. They
and
still
still
surround
surround
him.
him and still have him in the shot. And there's such a fucking team. Like there's such a fucking unit. Like like I got nothing but respect for that whole group.
Did you hear what was happening in the audience during that Netflix show?
No.
So apparently there was some scuttlebutt. I don't know the complete details, but at some point Jungkook has like this face on him, like he's like concerned or annoyed, and then you see V going to the back and telling security something, and apparently it was like this he may have caught somebody in the audience with like a gun, and then she was pulled
What?
aside. She was pulled aside, and the woman was like, "Oh, I just have it for self defense because it was so crowded here, you know." So that was her story. And then there was like a
I'm
poster.
sure she's sticking to it.
Yeah, and then there was like a poster talking shit about them, and then that kind of caught them off guard. Like, why be upfront with a poster to talk shit? You spent hours on that line just to show them that little sign. Like, give me a
But
break.
they're the kind of people though that kind of would affect.
Because they're
As
emotional.
because they're very, I wouldn't call them soft, but they're really in tune with the response that they get from people. Um, I wouldn't be doing the segment justice if I didn't at least mention one conversation piece that isn't so fun when it comes to not just BTS but to K-pop as a whole. right?
Mm-hmm.
So like there is a very large conversation right now, and it's very large because, to put us positive spin, South Korea right now is
Killing it.
kind of on fire right now, right? So Squid Games, K-pop Demon Hunters, BTS, a slew of actors and entertainers coming out of South Korea right now in all forms of media.
You have
Just
K-dramas on Amazon Prime,
yeah,
on fucking Disney Plus,
yeah,
on Netflix, like being popular at the moment. Like it's
and not
crazy.
oh, we're gonna put it on a major platform, so let's offer, let's make sure we dub it. Let's make sure that, but no, a lot of these shows and a lot of these musicians that are coming to the states are singing and performing and acting in their native language. The only difference for us Americans, like for instance, when you watch it, they have English subtitles, but the audio itself, the actual footage itself, is
I've
one
been
hundred
reading a
percent
lot, folks.
in Korean. So it's not like, it's not like, well, we want to include America in this, so let's make it easy for them. It's like, no, this is what we make, and if anybody supports it, then they support it, and everyone is supporting this shit. So back to the topic at hand, there does seem to be some conversation within the hip hop community about how close and how much is being used in K-pop, right? So like K-pop originally was just pop music, just like every other form of pop music, but there are a lot of conversations amongst the hip hop community saying, well, before when they were doing the rap thing and they were doing the dance thing, and they're like they kind of had our swag, but not, not really. It was kind of their own little thing. But now these artists are becoming so successful within that vein that it is kind of starting to stretch more into the hip hop community. Now they're using hip hop producers, and they're using hip hop celebrities like an Usher or a Jack Harlow to come in and perform with them and kind of get that rub from that community. And now there are some people within the hip hop community right now that are saying, well, time out, time out, time out, time out. Right? It's like, even there were actually some people who were saying that the K-pop Demon Hunter girls, when they perform Golden, are out there trying to be black. Right? That's what this conversation is
Fucking
becoming.
bullshit. Because you know what? Nobody said that when reggaeton came out. Okay? Like nobody said, oh, Spanish people are trying to steal our hip hop or our rap now. Okay, so fuck them. Okay, every company, I mean, sorry, every country can have their own version of rap. Okay, and
Their
be good
own
at it.
version of rap. I will take the rap from K-pop over that British drill shit that I've been hearing from from the UK. He's like,
And if we're
"Put me
gonna
to
say
stop."
anything, didn't Drake try to
Yeah,
do
he
his
did.
own version
He,
of the?
no, he didn't do his own. I don't know if he was the feature or if the other guy was the feature, but he brought in one of those drill rappers, and then they came in and like, we need to defend hip hop from these K-poppers. I was like, all right, well, head to the UK first. They're closer because they're hop on pop, top to the top, top top. I bet to the top. I had a potato tape top top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just doing things over there. And I understand if you have an issue with K-pop, you can go ahead and talk to them, but don't make it an express bus. Make some pit stops because
People did
Britain's
it before. Yeah.
Britain's doing some shit now with it. There's some Australians doing some shit with it. I if I was hip hop and I was rap right now, I would not begin the process of trying to go to war with other cultures borrowing from rap. It's out of the box now. It's out of the box. Your brand of music has become, it really has become synonymous with pop music at this point. Before, pop music and rap music or hip hop music was completely separate, completely diverse, which is what made features so cool, right? When you had a pop artist, you know, and then you had a rapper all of a sudden combined together out of nowhere. Those were very special songs because it's two worlds that you wouldn't normally see together combining. It's not that way anymore. Now rappers and singers, now we have rappers who sing and singers who rap. And they just kind of, it's all kind of merging together at this point.
You know
So
what
I
really?
just,
really
But
shock me, and I would be like, ill
you
if
would be
we
like,
had
"Ill."
Korean country music.
Hey, look, you know what? That actually came up too with the conversation with the hip hop thing,
I
because
would be like, that's stretching it too far. I'm sorry.
I would let him do it. God damn it, let him do it. I listen. Country music came up when I started hearing about this hip hop thing, because there was one person who had said, "Look what country music did to Beyonce." Right? Look,
Nothing.
she's from the South. She is from Texas.
No.
She wasn't claiming to be a country artist. She just wanted to make a country album because she herself had heard the music growing up, and obviously she's more of a hip hop person. But it wasn't. It's like you and I have our favorite type of music, but that doesn't mean that we don't dabble in other genres of music. She just wanted to try a country album, and of course, country music entities like award shows and stuff want to jump on the wave, want to jump on the popularity, but the artists themselves and fans of the music genre refuse to let this woman in. They're like, she's not country. I don't give a shit how many times she says howdy or try to hold him and Texas hold him and all that other stuff you talking about. Yada
Y'all.
yada yada yada. Yeah, you can y'all me and wear cowboy boots and all that stuff. You ain't
I
country.
listen. I don't say
So
I'm a cowgirl, and I say y'all sometimes.
yeah. So that's this individual that I saw on the internet. She goes, I'm just carrying the same energy. Y'all not black. Y'all not rapping for real, right? Y'all rapping in the sense of they rhyme and they have a little bit of meaning to them, but there's no layers to it. There's no ambiance. There's no like real
Oh
rap. Who?
no, you talking about?
I'm talking about how this individual that I saw compare K-pop rap
Oh,
to actual like Americanized rap, where it's like there's no
oh.
nuances, there's no
Mm,
wordplay, there's no.
how do they not know that they don't rhyme? They're doing it in
Yeah,
Korean.
they took a Rosetta Stone. They know what it is.
They don't fuck them. They don't know shit. I bet these Koreans like, whoa, that flow is so good. Koreans know
Even
their flow is good. Okay.
yeah, I even if they did know, even if it was true what they're saying, as a person who's listened to multiple genres of music for 40 years, take it as a you can't stop it from happening. Take it as a compliment, right?
Sometimes you just have to feel somebody's vibe. You may not know what they're saying, but they
Well,
have a fucking vibe and a tone, and you can feel it sometimes.
if people would take because again, I personally think that the performer should factor into the conversation, right? If if these K-pop rappers were coming out and basically like boasting about how much better they are at rap
But they
and this
don't.
is ours now. I've seen a lot of these K-pop artists openly during interviews state that I do it this way because I looked up to this person and I
Yeah,
looked up
or
to this person
I've
and
been
it's like
influenced by this
yeah,
person, this
which is
person.
the
They
same
admit
shit that
it.
every American artist says. Where it's just like I sound like this because I watched Madonna, or I sound like this because I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. It's like
Or Britney
okay,
Spears.
yeah,
Wait,
your music.
Tate McRae is that her name? Tate, what's
Tate
her name?
McRae was a big
Sounds like
Britney,
Beyonce. I'm not Beyonce. Sounds like Britney Spears.
yeah.
They
So it's like
compare her all the time.
the whole goal of music was to share it with the world, and you did. It's like the parents who sit here and say, "Well, you kids have it easy, right? Because you worked hard so I could have it easy." Thank you, mom and dad. Like you can't get angry at your kids for not struggling because you did everything you could to make sure they didn't struggle. That sounds ridiculous. You sound ridiculous. You made rap and hip hop so successful it couldn't be denied any longer, and
And
now
not only
everyone
that,
loves it.
everybody's going to change it in some way. Did we not the other day find Swim, one of the songs on their last album, Swim, in a
Mhm.
reggaeton remix?
Yeah, the
Hello?
reggaeton remix. Yeah,
Okay? And it
exactly. There's
sounded
different sounds to
fire.
all of it.
Okay? And it
Yeah,
sounds good. So
we're
I mean
now
everybody's gonna find their version out there they enjoy.
we're now in an era now where you can get an AI version of your song done 20 different ways. So it doesn't. How many times have I been in the car and I've done the Edge's theme 17 different ways? It's it's in the blender now. Once you make it, it's in the it's in the ether now. It's not yours anymore. It just belongs to
But
the world.
but the but listen, the
Linda.
Yeah, Linda. We're just talking about how good they are, because not only have they released their last album after doing their solo albums and all these awards, but they fucking did it in the Guggenheim fucking museum.
Yeah.
Like, who does mini concerts in the fucking Guggenheim? Like, what the fuck? I feel like they have been doing their shit in hoity-toity places. First in the square
Yeah.
in
It
Korea. I
has a
don't know
big.
the name of it.
It's a big name. It's right in front of me. It's a big name that starts with a G.
Yeah.
The only way that I could say it is in a racist way, so I'm not even going to attempt. But it's a nice
Okay.
place.
But you told me the backstory of that place, how you can't request that place. That
Yeah,
place has to request you.
it was built specifically for royalty centuries ago, and so very few performers, if any, have walked it. No one's ever performed there. They've always, at the very least, they've been granted the privilege to walk the grounds. These motherfuckers got to do a 1 hour set.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same group who is from South Korea and was invited to the White House by Joe Biden. These people are not just making music; they're humanitarians. They're doing all kinds of shit with people. So I got nothing but respect for
Mm-hmm.
those guys. They've done nothing but good stuff, as far as I'm concerned.
My YouTube algorithm
Has
thinks
infiltrated
I only
minds.
like I only like Korean music now. And I have to train it differently because I've only been listening to them. So I have to tell them, no,
Yeah.
I like other types of music too.
Yeah. Shout out to
Okay.
Stray Kids because they keep giving me Stray Kids stuff. If I let it rock,
Uh,
it'll do BTS, it'll do the simple
because
stuff,
I
and then it
played
starts
because I
branching out.
played one of their songs because I was listening to BTS. Man, doing it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it. Just do
do
it.
it,
Do
do it,
it.
do
Do
it,
it.
do
Do
it.
it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. All right. Hey, look, this was good talk. This was good talk here, talking about the boys taking over. We're headed to the. I know I said earlier that the movie theater tickets have sold out, but your boy got two for him and the missus. So we're going to be checking them out next Saturday, not Easter Saturday, but the next Saturday. We're dropping the boy off and we're having a date night, and we're going to enjoy ourselves as we watch the guys do their thing off in the movie theaters.